John, what are you doing?
I love you. Thank you so much.
Whoa, Jazz, what the frickety frick? Whoa!
The whole gifting subs thing, that is magical.
John, what are you doing?
I love you. Thank you so much.
Whoa, Jazz, what the frickety frick? Whoa!
The whole gifting subs thing, that is magical.
John, what are you doing?
I love you. Thank you so much.
Whoa, Jazz, what the frickety frick? Whoa!
The whole gifting subs thing, that is magical.
John, what are you doing?
I love you. Thank you so much.
Whoa, Jazz, what the frickety frick? Whoa!
The whole gifting subs thing, that is magical.
John, what are you doing?
I love you. Thank you so much.
Whoa, Jazz, what the frickety frick? Whoa!
The whole gifting subs thing, that is magical.
John, what are you doing?
I love you. Thank you so much.
Whoa, Jazz, what the frickety frick? Whoa!
The whole gifting subs thing, that is magical.
John, what are you doing?
I love you. Thank you so much.
Whoa, Jazz, what the frickety frick? Whoa!
gifting substing, that is magical.
Blackjar, what are you doing?
I love you. Thank you so much.
Whoa! Jazz, what the frickety frick? Whoa!
The whole gifting substing, that is magical.
Sir, what are you doing? Black Jar, what are you doing?
I love you. Thank you so much.
Whoa! Jazz, what the frickety frick? Whoa! Whoa!
The whole gifting subs thing, that is magical.
John, what do you...
He didn't exactly have a composition that got hard.
Black John, what are you doing?
I love you. Thank you so much.
Whoa, Jazz, what the frickity frick? Whoa!
The whole gifting subs thing, that is magical.
데미지 팀 내 데미지 비중도 꽤 높은 편이라고 봐야.
Black John, what are you doing?
I love you. Thank you so much.
Whoa, Jazz, what the frickity frick? Whoa!
The whole gifting subs thing, that is magical.
Ta phanh còn nếu như em đồng ý thì sao là có thể về nhà anh đi đâu phải nói hay là có một gái đi cùng ngon khỏi
Osmar, and he's the only pro player that has that. Trace was another one, but of course has been the coaching staff of Genji for a couple of years. The lineups are not worth discussing anymore. SKT and Sandbox are just not running some of the players they were playing with in Kesper Cup. Weiser, for example, has never played top with Summit in such rare form. Why would you change him? No sighting of Hollow, their usual AD carry on Sandbox either. It's been Ghost for the entirety of LCK Spring 2019, and when you're second and third respectively, why change a thing?
Yep, that's exactly right. Ghost has been having a fantastic season thus far. I personally wasn't expecting it, but a lot of our players that have moved over from, I guess, lesser teams in 2018 really have shown form. I think Tempt is another fantastic example on the side of Harmful Life. He's been playing very, very well in the 2019 season, and Ghost has really followed along with his ex-teammate. Even though they're on different teams, the performances have really stepped up. See whether he's going to be able to continue that, though. This is the biggest test that they have remaining here in the regular season for Sandbox Gaming.
And you and I are on the same team. We just want some sick legal edge. We don't need no bias. We're just biased towards some good games. I'm biased towards a good drop from Zephyr as well.
Yes.
He sometimes manages to deceive, but it's 9.5. Silas still disabled. Let's see what they make sense, heads or tails, because with the Vayne priorities way up, some teams play Nico, some teams don't. There's not a lot of agreement among teams apart from the fact that the Sandra first pick is the auto lock.
I think that's a Faker fan.
Really?
Yeah. That's
I can't read Korean, so I couldn't see it.
Oh, okay, well, I'll confirm it for you. I've been doing a little bit of...
are we sure?
Yeah, please, Jason, can you let us know? She failed to read it, unfortunately. Yeah, it just didn't couldn't quite figure that one out. But here we are in Champions Select for game number 1. SKT versus Sandbox Gaming. SKT will be on our blue side, so Khan will be the one that has to actually lock in his champion. See whether Summit can get the counter pick. Olaf is going to be that first ban against On Fleek, as the Chase is, of course, the answer against Khan.
And Lee Sin priority. When we have an 8-3 Lee Sin for On Fleek, most played this season after Camille unfortunately went into the dumpster.
Yep.
And Clid 10-6, 16 games. Think about that. An entire LCS or LEC split is 18 games. And he's played 16 best of ones already on Lee Sin for Clid. I don't know if it's first pick territory. We know Lissandra will occupy that if it's available. What will be able to just jimmy out? Because there's more than 6 champions you want to ban when top teams are on the Rift.
Yeah, I'm looking at Jason Lissandra as being the next two that really stand out. Then you've got the entire 80 carry pool with Callista available, with Ezreal, Teddy and Ghost have both been defaulting to it, and SKT are going to get one of either the Galio or Lissandra if they would like to go towards it. I think Sandbox have to ban away Lissia.
What does this mean for Galio that's been a first pick for a long time? And yeah, the Callista versus Lissandra, pick your poison. Yes, I SAT again. The first pick of all time. Will be very surprising to see anything other than Lissandra, given that Ryze is there as a coverage ban for Lissandra to kind of have a paddock, whatever lane she decides.
Yep, feels like it's almost a guarantee here. 8 seconds to go. Lissandra has been found.
Mind-boggling.
Yes.
For it not to be locked in here, even though we can say, what about Lee Sin? What about other things? Lissandra is the champion to speak of. Lucian priority down a little bit over time. I can understand it. It is a winning pick for Ghost, though. He is 6-1 on the Lucian so far this season. Could be flex into other lanes as well. We've seen a little bit more of it opening up around the Rift. Rascal's played in the top lane. And how about just picking up something that works well together? What's it going to be at the cost as you notice the hover here, Kale is enabled this week. So far, no one's locking it in.
No, and it's not necessarily the greatest in theory for competitive play, just because you need to try and get yourself through the
It's the first time I'm seeing it in the hover. It actually looks quite scary.
Yeah, it's really scary. Oh, surprise, surprise.
Whoa!
Up Lee Sin. That is going to be game number 17.
Wow.
For those playing at home.
How about an Ezreal?
Well, Vladimir is also up, and the Rise, like you mentioned before, has been banned. It's going to give away.
Thì cho anh em một tí thôi là bạn nữ hôm nay bị vấn đề xe cộ một tí. Đấy, nói giọng BD, anh em cứ đùa, giọng chắc chắn là giọng BD luôn, đi nghe đã thấy BD rồi. Kìa, đút ngay đi chứ anh em vội ủi thề luôn, cứ đợi anh em đút thôi mà mãi chả anh em nào rồi. Hứa với anh em là có con gái luôn, không con gái chặt đầu tôi luôn trên giờ chim này luôn. Trời ơi. Thôi, ok, nghiêm túc nhá. Quay trở lại trận đấu bên phía SCT, họ có cho mình ở đây, đó là Lee Sin dành cho Clip. Vâng, đó là Lee Sin dành cho Clip, một Lee Sin mà chúng ta được thấy ở những trận đấu trước rất chất lượng. Và bên cạnh đó thì SCT họ còn có cả Vladimir nữa. Và Vladimir cùng với Lissandra là cặp đôi đường giữa đường trên của phía SCT. Đây là một cặp đôi có khả năng ra trên tầm cực kỳ mạnh với một combo của mình. Bên phía Sandbox Gaming thì có cho mình đó là Lucian cùng với cả Bram đã hoàn thành cặp đôi đường dưới cực kỳ mạnh mẽ ở đây, và tự cấm đi Kalista, cấm tiếp cái tam kênh để ngăn chặn cái khả năng là đè đường ngược lại bên phía SCT rồi. Có tiếp cho mình đó là Javan ở vị trí đi rừng để cho On Fleek. Javan đối đầu với cả Lee Sin ở phía bên kia thì nghe chừng nó hơi khoai, nhưng về khả năng ra trên tổng thì không thua kém một chút nào so với cả đội hình của phía SCT cả. Rồi bây giờ thì bên phía SCT họ cấm đi Yorick, lựa chọn cấm đi một vị tướng có khả năng đẩy đường lẻ tốt như là Yorick và đang rất hot ở thời điểm hiện tại, là một lựa chọn hợp lý từ phía SCT. Sandbox Gaming họ sẽ tập trung vào vị trí xạ thủ sắp tới đây. Lucian, Bram thì liệu rằng có cấm ven hay không, khi mà ngày hôm qua thì trận đấu giữa Griffin và Hanwha cũng đã có Griffin đã sử dụng trước đó thì trận đấu ngày hôm qua cũng có, nếu tôi không nhầm là Zenith của KT thì phải sử dụng ven. Trước đấy thì Viper của Griffin cũng sử dụng ven, thì ven cũng là một lựa chọn ổn. Bên phía Sandbox họ quyết định là cấm Ezreal rồi, vậy là đã cấm Ezreal chứ không phải là ven. Vẫn còn những lựa chọn còn lại dành cho Teddy khá nhiều ở đây. Hogmore là lựa chọn tốt, và những lựa chọn như là Kaisa trong tùy trường hợp cũng là ok. Varus cũng ổn, nhưng mà sẽ là một vị tướng khả năng mà nó cơ động hơn một chút, nhưng mà đối đầu cái này thì trấn Javan thì không thể coi thường rồi. SCT họ đã tiếp tục cấm Ashok của Amit, và lần này bên phía Sandbox họ khóa vào Galio rồi. Đây sẽ là Galio được giữa dành cho Do. Ôi ôi đùa, anh em ôi bác quá, hứa với anh em luôn, hôm nay là anh em phải thông cảm. Bạn nữ bạn ấy đang bị có vấn đề xe cộ một tí, đến chậm một tí thôi. Khổ. Có ai muốn đâu, trời ơi. Rồi, và đã khóa vào đó là cặp đôi xạ thủ hỗ trợ bên phía SCT là Sayaraka. Bên phía bên Sandbox Gaming họ sẽ có được lựa chọn cuối cùng ở đây, sẽ là lựa chọn một vị tướng đường trên đối đầu với, có vẻ như đây sẽ là Vladimir của Khan rồi, hoặc là Vladimir dành cho Khan, hoặc Lissandra dành cho Khan, và Vladimir sẽ dành cho Faker. Đến tháng thì bảo là đến tháng.
I think that it had to be a 4-1 type option. Aurelia is going to be the choice that Summon's going to make up there towards the top side of the map.
Rồi, vậy là đã khóa vào đó là Irelia. Wow, vậy là đó là Irelia đường trên dành cho Summit rồi. Đã hoàn thành được đội hình của bên phía Sandbox Gaming. Lần này họ lựa chọn một quân bài đó là Irelia. Cũng không phải thời gian rồi tôi lại được thấy Irelia được xuất hiện trở lại tại LCK. Trừ khi bạn đối đầu với cả Griffin, auto là cấm luôn Irelia để cho Vi không được cầm, không được sử dụng. Thì những đội tuyển khác thường thì họ không để tâm đến những tướng đã bị giảm quá nhiều sức mạnh. Giảm ở đây như này. Nhưng bên phía Sandbox Gaming họ vẫn tự tin lựa chọn những tướng này ở vị trí đường trên đối đầu với cả Vladimir của Khan. Vậy là đội hình của hai bên đã được hình thành. Đội hình của SCT họ có một đội hình khả năng đá tranh tổng cực kỳ mạnh với Vladimir, với Lissandra, cộng với đó là cả Rakan khả năng hỗ trợ từ xa cũng như là khả năng mở ra tranh tốt. Và bên cạnh đó thì có Lee Sin của Clip nữa. Lee Sin của Clip sẽ đem lại một chút lợi thế đầu game nếu như mà anh chàng này di chuyển tốt, và với những lợi thế đó họ sẽ đẩy cầu tiếp trận đấu này thôi. Và đội hình ngược lại bên phía của Sandbox Gaming thì có một cái đội hình cũng khả năng ra tranh tổng ổn với combo đại đế chấn và siêu hùng giáng thế, khả năng mở tranh cực kỳ tốt với Galio và Javan. Và Bram Wilson là cặp đôi chúng ta không được coi thường với khả năng là về đột biến ra tranh rất ổn với đội tại đáy năng ngư của anh chàng Bram này. Chúng ta còn đến với trận đấu đầu tiên ngày hôm nay. Sau trận đấu ngày hôm qua thì Dev anh ta đã đạt được kill thứ 1000 như vậy, ăn được cái mạng thứ 1000 và sau khi mà lấy được mạng thứ 1000 đó thì Ginzo nó cũng giành chiến thắng trước KT luôn. Thực sự là chúc mừng Ginzo. Và hôm nay chúng ta sẽ cùng được xem là kèo đấu giữa Sandbox Gaming và SCT. Liệu xem hôm nay Faker sẽ xử lý như thế nào với Lissandra của anh chàng này. Ui, anh em đợi tí đi, chuẩn bị gái qua bây giờ, đùa. Tôi lừa anh em làm gì, chán lắm. Không bao giờ lừa luôn, riêng Power Sport TV thì không bao giờ lừa nhá. Không bao giờ lừa luôn. Hứa. Ok, bắt đầu trận đấu rồi, hai bên đều sẽ cố gắng kiểm soát trận đấu nhiều hơn là di chuyển và đánh nhau. Thường như trận đấu Hàn Quốc thì ít khi là bớ đầu nhau đầu game lắm. Thỉnh thoảng là ông nào đi lỗi cái thì bắt thôi, không bắt thì thôi. Rồi, thật sự là Clip trận này anh ta cầm được Lee Sin. Cái con bài Lee Sin của Clip thì không còn gì phải bàn cãi rồi. Có chất lượng thực sự. Thật sự là chất lượng, không thể phủ định được điều đấy, là anh công nhận không? Rồi, quay trở lại trận đấu thì nhìn qua Clip lựa chọn Lee Sin 11 thắng chỉ có 5 trận thua thôi, đánh tín cực kỳ luôn, như sọt thời đỉnh cao vậy. Rồi bây giờ thì đã có những con mắt kiểm soát được cắm ra, nhưng mà hiện tại thì chưa có di chuyển nào cả hai bên cả. Lee Sin sẽ bắt đầu chuẩn bị mua xanh, Summit di chuyển vào, phát hiện ra được vị trí của Clip ở đây, nhưng mà có vẻ như là có khá hay không, chắc là chỉ mặc kệ thôi. Javan của OnClick bắt đầu cho mình với màu đỏ, đường giữa ở đây Faker với Lissandra xài tay vàng cũng như khả năng tố diện tốt từ chiêu quy của mình sẽ lên cấu vào đầu của Đô sẽ rất khó khăn trong giai đoạn đi đường đối đầu với Lissandra và Faker thôi. Cố gắng đẩy đường lên, lấy được chỉ số lính nào thì lấy, còn không thì cũng cố gắng làm thôi, kích kinh nghiệm là được. Đường dưới cặp đôi Lucian Ram sẽ có một chút lợi thế hơn với khả năng đẩy đường cộng với cả cái chất tướng từ cả hai đội tướng này, khiến cho Sayaraka muốn trao đổi cũng hơi khó, nhưng mà không sao, sẽ đợi cho Clip xuống di chuyển xuống để hỗ trợ những người đồng đội của mình nếu như họ bị ép đường quá nhiều. Ở đây thì Sandbox Conflict đã di chuyển vào thẳng khu vực màu đỏ của bên phía FPT và sẽ lấy được đó là 2 màu đỏ liên tục. Và có vẻ như là đoán trước được hướng di chuyển của Clip rồi, sử dụng luôn cả trừng phạt ăn cho nó chắc cú. Bây giờ thì OnFlix đó bạn, đó là Clip sẽ di chuyển màu đỏ và đã thấy là mất màu đỏ rồi. Đoán trước được hướng di chuyển của các thành viên bên phía FPT đã là có tí nghiên cứu đến từ vị trí của Sandbox Gaming rồi. Tiếng game à? Có tiếng game rồi đó anh em. nhưng mà tiếng game nó không được to cho lắm vì sợ là bây giờ mà dính bản quyền thì thôi toang lắm rồi anh em ạ. Không phải tắt bình luận đâu, không sao, anh em cứ chat đi, đùa đã bảo rồi, lát nữa thôi chắc chắn là có bình luận nữ đến bình luận. Hôm nay là do là có tí vấn đề xe cộ anh em thông cảm, dạo này cuối tuần mà xe cộ nó đi qua nó khó khăn lắm, chắc là thỉnh thoảng lại linh tinh thôi. Rồi quay trở lại trận đấu, đường dưới này thì sau khi mà thấy rằng là có một mùi gì đấy ở trong khu vực rừng thì bạn đã di chuyển xuống vùng bùa đỏ, thì bên phía của Sang Minh cặp đôi đường dưới đánh quyết định lùi một chút, không cần đẩy quá cao, để cho Sarakan đẩy lên cũng được, và nếu như đẩy quá cao để cho Onflix bắt được ông nào đấy thì cũng có khả năng là cặp đôi đường dưới hỗ trợ cùng cả sự hỗ trợ của người đi rừng sẽ lên được một mạng đó thôi. Bây giờ thì vẫn cố gắng là kiểm soát đường giữa. Galio của đô hơi bị trịch trào một chút khi mà cái lực lính bây giờ Faker vẫn đang làm tốt hơn, nhưng mà không sao, đây là khoảng thời gian đầu trận đấu thì cũng không quá quan trọng. Đường trên thì Vladimir của Khan đang đè đầu cực kỳ tốt vào vị trí của Sabin. Rồi hiện tại thì bây giờ bên phía SKT họ vẫn đang làm tốt nhiệm vụ của mình, mặc dù là mất đi mùa đỏ và lượng lính cũng đang bị trôi dần đều, nhưng mà Lee Sin của Clip đang bị thua thiệt lính hơn một chút so với Conflict, bởi vì đã mất đi cái bãi mùa đỏ sớm, nhưng mà không sao, sẽ cố gắng kiểm soát và sau đó là farm bù dần đều. Với việc là với những chỉ số lính tốt ở cả ba đường như này thì không quá quan trọng cái việc mà Clip anh ta di chuyển như thế nào, cố gắng là tạo lực sớm nếu như mà Saman anh ta có được lợi thế như bây giờ. Nhưng mà Clip là một tuyển thủ mà đã có kinh nghiệm rất tốt với Lee Sin này, thì thường sẽ có ít những cái pha xử lý mà nó bị gọi là mù mắt anh em đâu. Chắc chắn là vẫn bình luận rồi, anh em yên tâm, vẫn bình luận như bình thường nhá, không có gì là không bình luận cả. Rồi bây giờ thì bên phía Samsung Gaming họ bắt đầu lấy lại được một chút khi mà đường trên có thêm một chút chỉ số lính, đường dưới thì vẫn đang cân bằng. Với việc là kiểm soát đầu game như thế này tốt thì bên phía Samsung Gaming họ sẽ giao tranh cực ổn ở thời điểm giữa trận đấu, khi mà Galio cùng với cả Javan đều có cho mình những cái chiêu cuối ổn, đều có cho mình đại địa trần với cả sư thắng thế để có thể lao vào giao tranh. Bên cạnh đó thì Summit với lưỡi kiếm tiên phong thì cũng có thể là hỗ trợ được một chút. Mặc dù là bây giờ thì cái dặn lên đường của Khan có vẻ như càng ngày nó càng bị lao lên với cả trên đường tráng, nhưng mà không có gì xảy ra cả, cấu rỉa một chút thôi.
I find it very interesting watching Zyra Khan here in the hands of Marta and Teddy, just because it feels so much like you know, a bang champion, right? I mean, SKT have been playing Zyra Khan for a very long time, but the whole bottom lane has transformed. Might have played it with Deft last year on KT Rolster as well, but it's just so strange that it feels so comfortable to see the SKT nameplates with the Zyra Khan, but the players have changed completely.
And isn't it nice to see Rakan back at all? 9.5 with the latest buff for an entrance in that flat 1500 rather than scaling to 1485 with, I believe, boots of mobility is a nice invitation for Rakan to be a situational rather than all-the-time champion, which I think we appreciate.
Feels like an all-the-time champion for Tucson. He was playing it before it was cool.
You know what? If you're going to spam a champion, at least be good at it. Yeah. Tucson on the Rakan and Clit on the Lee Sin. Every time you're up for it, I'm down as well.
Yeah, sounds pretty good to me. Here in mid lane, Faker is losing out on a trade massively. Dog just smashing him right now on fleek, trying to get in flash range. As Khan throws down the Hemo Plague, Summit might actually have this one turned on him. 200 health is going to be in there, but holds on to the ultimate, holds on to his life, everything's fine.
That was way more damage than you think of with the so many times nerfed Galio mid lane. Was never going to actually have kill pressure there on Faker, but definitely looks like an impressive trade. Might get a Spirit back time that Dove would welcome. Summit didn't really have the mana to R anything else, so he just held on to Vanguard's edge. Khan now has a window where Onflink says, what about a turret dive?
Yeah, well, Clit's actually going to come up and try and grab Agatha away from Onfleek, but it's not going to work. The flash is able to be used. Joker already roams on over. This is going to be a 2 versus 1 that Clit would opt in for, but not enough information. Topside vision well and truly there for Sandbox, and they're playing around their advantages very well so far in this early game.
Isn't it nice to see moments like that where there was a next level, next level, next level?
Yeah.
Going for the turret dive, Lee Sin charging there to see if the Jarvan was going to threaten a turret dive, because Khan had to teleport right under the turret, and Joker had already pre-roamed for a potential 3v2. So even though the action comes of it, that control war, there was one clear deep in the bot side. This one's working out.
Yeah, I'm calling it Nigel. Nigel's a goodie. Very sneaky little Nigel.
fair enough. I could see Nigel as the name of someone who owns a sandbox.
Yeah. It does feel like a kid's name, doesn't it? I'm sure there's a lot of much older Nigels.
No, in my head, actually, Nigel's like the slightly older British man with some buck teeth.
Oh, yeah, that's a Melvin to me.
Oh, Melvin.
In my mind.
There you go.
Sorry to all the Melvins watching.
How many
Nigels,
Melvins do you
I
think
guess.
are watching?
I don't know.
I think many more Nigels are watching.
Can you sound off in the Twitch chat, guys? If your name's Melvin, let us know. Just give us a pog champ.
And shout out to Nigel. You'll know which one.
Yep, Nigel as well. As, we're getting a few wild Thornberries. That's what people are talking about. Nigel Thornberry, of course, is going to be the most notable Nigel. Most notable Nigel. Everything's very even.
A very serious job, Atlas. Stay on cast, please.
Yeah, sorry, I got to talk about Nigels again. Messed it up. But the reason why we are is because things are moving quite slowly.
And we mentioned during Champ Select, if nothing happens and we rock up with 6 items each, can't really look past Vladimir with how short range
Sire as
Sandbox
well
is.
scales very effectively.
I really want to see that Executioner's Calling we're always talking about from Summit next. The Tiamat is for lane control and ability to push into the Vladimir, especially early before Vlad gets poisonous Tides of Blood. Definitely want some healing reduction coming.
Pulled. Not exactly the ability that you want to be pulling. You want to be predicting the alternate before you throw out the Sanguine Pull, but thankfully Khan was underneath his turret, so he's going to be fine. Yeah, the tax for the Executioner's Calling is actually a big deal, though, because it means that Summit won't hit that Trinity Force for much longer.
Hey, the tax rate used to be 1,300 gold QSSs, so you don't complain about 800 gold Executioner's Callings.
Getting a tax break here. Nicely done, well done.
We've talked about tax so much today.
We really have.
I think April
tax
is
time is coming in. As another hero play goes down defensively here. Summit not going to be able to mitigate a lot of that damage, but offers some more back there as Khan holds onto this wave. The freeze hasn't been broken yet, but Summit does have an advantage here finally in this lane, as we would expect from the more aggressive Aurelia choice.
Reminder with all the new viewers joining us, it's something we haven't really delved too deep into, but a reminder that Aurelia's W no longer reduces magic damage when channeled, so yes, it put on a speck of damage onto Khan.
I thought you were going to explain the Korean tax system to everyone.
I mean, you're the one that needs the full information there.
Yeah, I do. You've got
it's
an
your first
year
time.
On me, yeah. I mean, I paid it last. I just didn't. I didn't do anything fancy. You know, I just got the number that they told me about, and you know, OGN helped me a lot.
I got bad
with,
news. They're
getting the tax
taxing
worked out.
esports dollars this year.
Oh no!
I know.
It's a disaster. I want out. It's not true. I never believe.
Well,
Conflict finds a control ward and kills it.
We love having you here, Atlas. Double Aussie days have been denied recently. SKT being cold on the bot side, but you know, not to any meaningful CS discrepancies. Even top lane with Aurelia, a pretty favorable matchup. It's the tune of nothing. 10 CS, nothing more. No signing of that Executioner's Calling. We're going to build other items. We're going to be using them somewhere as Clid finds on Fleek in his own jungle.
Yep, very comfortable though. You can see it's only Agatha available in this particular jungle for SKT. So Clid's got a lot of options when it comes to where he wants to be on the map. And right now, onus isn't on him to actually make anything happen. Summit decides that he wants that Trinity Force as early as he can. So like you were talking about, no Executioner's Calling. Some dangerous times there as Faker's auto attack range looked like it was gigantic there. Looked like old Annie levels of auto attack range.
It's actually current Annie levels auto attack range. She was rebuffed.
Oh yeah!
Yep. She is now back to her ways, right next to someone like good old Caitlyn when it comes to attack range.
Yeah, good to see Annie's port back again.
SKT did a really good job of repelling an early Ocean Drake around 6 minutes, and now Conflict will have to come in and interrupt this. Remember, Galio should have first roam, but Mata and Teddy coming from far.
Yeah, good lane call there as well. Joker doesn't have a lot of health bar as Clid has to flash to get on out. You can see Faker and Dub, they're also fighting. It's 3 fronts as far as this battle is concerned, but Ghost is going down very, very low. The flash has to be used to get out, but they do get themselves the Ocean Drake and should be able to gather even the Rift Scuttler as Vanguard's Edge goes down once again. You can see Khan does have the phase rush as Summit turns it around once again. Charges it up. Good sidestep there from Khan. Keeps himself alive. Trade of ultimates on both sides. There's the Crimson Rush. There's the Sanguine Pool as well.
Oh.
Has to flash to get out of the way though. This is becoming a really dangerous dance for Khan on the Vladimir.
This is some posturing on all sides. It ended up being a trade of summoners, but not one you might expect. They had to flash out in the Drake pit, but Ghost, in all of the commotion, had to use double summoners. Doesn't have teleport, so it's heal flash used by him. So The Ocean Drake actually cost them both 80 carries summoners, which worth, not worth. They didn't use the hero's entrance, but a lot of tools around the map were used, even though no one went down.
Yeah, Faker as well. I mean, he didn't have to use any flash or anything like that, and made sure that Dove couldn't actually throw out that ultimate like you were talking about, as this is a little bit topsy-turvy, but Faker is able to lock that one down.
Yeah, Faker had to yell twice, but
I
eventually
believe
got
Nigel
there.
died. Or was he replaced? Maybe Nigel just moved. Maybe
He
that's
went to
Nigel.
He went to the farm.
Yeah, alright.
I wanted someone to mock up a ward farm. That's not just a ward graveyard.
Oh no, that doesn't sound good at all.
They don't go to the glue.
I don't know why why is it going so sinister? Oh, speaking of which, Shelly Rivers being taken down here as well. Looks like Sandbox are utilizing that topside control that they do have for themselves. That was after getting the Drake as well. Cake and eat it too, happening for Sandbox here in this early game. You expect nothing less here from this squad. It will be a turret play going down in favor of SKT on the bottom side of the map, but that is a 1 versus 2 scenario. Something you can understand for Ghost, who's holding onto this wave nicely.
And we got Turbo if we're going to use this one before 14 minutes. Don't get a lot of thinking time. In fact, they won't be.
No.
Straight to base. Could have just used it top side. I wonder why they didn't. I guess they're worried about the counter gank bottom side. There's a joke coming up, and I imagine Jarvan is trying to speed here if he gave up, getting 320 gold onto a carry.
And SKT have to really think about this as Control Ward is going to be taken down. SKT understand that they do have a ward there.
Hold the point.
Yeah, Cliff comes in. There's all the flashes. Joker going down very low, but the hero's entrance will be available. Faker finds himself on the wrong side, but it still has the ultimate available. Joker gets out of the way though, and Ghost mops up that kill. Can't teleport it in, but is it into his doom? Gets a lot of the health back with the Emo Plague on fleek now. Just needs one more round of spells for Khan, but he gets slowed down and mopped up. Dove grabs that one. It's 4 for 0 in favor of Sandbox.
4 kills go the way of Sandbox, and SKT just don't see it coming. When we go over the replay, I want to talk about the timer of when this play happens, but for now, Rift Herald goes down, and there may not be plates, but there'll be turrets at the whimsy of Sandbox.
Yeah, you've even got a Sheen on Summit, so the tower's going to go down very quickly. Teddy just has to watch as this tower gets chunked on the bottom side. Sandbox have brought it up to 11 so quickly. In the matter of 2 minutes, it's all of a sudden a 3,000 gold lead for Sandbox Gaming.
And in the now, it doesn't matter that later Vlad will answer the team fight versus team fight. Now one team fight comp has more gold than the other team fight comp, which means they'll team fight better. What I want to talk about, which isn't shown here, is this play happens around 14:02, 14 minutes into the game. The reason why I bring it up, Atlas, is that Rift Herald was taken at 13:30 and not summoned. What that tells you is that Jarvan will be bot, because otherwise he would have used it in a lane instantly. He was way closer to top and mid, but the fact that Jarvan didn't use it meant that he would be bot lane, meant that there would actually be a lot of resistance. It wasn't going to be take down the duo lane that had no summoners. If I'm bot reviewing, the timer here is very important, because SKT should have been aware that Sandbox were never going to be waving the white flag, because they did not use the Rift Herald off spawn.
Yep. Some of the cleanest team fighting from Sandbox that we've seen for a very long time, though. It's very impressive as here on the bottom side goes. Playing very well, good double knockup from Mana, but he gets stunned, taken down very quickly. Ghost grabs that kill. Joker's out of mana, but he used it all just to get that kill, and in comes on fleek. Vision not available. The control ward's there, but Vision actually doesn't matter. The culling flies forward. Teddy on the wrong side of this one wants to get Ghost. Is able to do it. They trade 1 for 1 in the end, but they'll lose the turret as well. Still probably not worth it there for SKT bottom side.
Yeah, his coffee had already spilled. He gets to sip a little bit of it, but unfortunately, it's only going to be a trade of kills. They are able to use Clip to at least get some harassment onto Aurelia, but not a turret. That's for certain. Someone's even diving in. Let's give too many mundos about Vladimir this early, and I'm inclined to agree, but before the raid must ask.
Yep, exactly right. He is level 11, but look at that pull. That's not exactly the place that you want to be using it, and you can see that Khan is starting to get a little bit flustered here against the Aurelia, who still doesn't have the 333 gold to finish off that Trinity Force when that comes in, man.
Oh, but
It'll
look
be
what
real scary.
Lucian has both of his items, Atlas. He has brown bags, Play the Ruin King, and the Black Cleaver. He is insanely huge this early for 17 minutes. Mata, unfortunately, trades in too confidently and just dies straight up, and then all Teddy can do is say, I'm taking someone with me, gets a bounty, but not the cleanest from SKT's duo.
Yeah, throws out the Q, does have enough mana, thankfully, to get the Feather Storm off. It does pick up the Lucian.
In the scenario of I'm stuck under turret, you get the white trade up because you get the bounty. But Lucian is so epically huge, even as an Ocean Drake to spam those spells out.
And Teddy also, I mean, he's going for a 3-item spike, not a 2-item spike. Even if he was accelerated in this lane and he's been farming very, very well, it actually just doesn't matter because ghost items are just better when there's just 2 of them.
Counterpick available here.
One flick is relatively low, but cleared. Level disadvantage. And the Jarvan's pretty comfy. This is not the Warrior Enchant Jarvan. This is the Jarvan that can use his health bar as a resource very effectively. He's gone for the Cinderhulk because they know that they've got a fair bit of damage. They're getting behind the Lucian and the Aurelia to get work done, and Dove is going to be a big damage threat on this Galio this time around.
And to me, it's been a pleasure to watch Unflake this game, because usually he's in the clit position of being Elise, looking for his turret dives, or he's being relentlessly aggressive on the Camille. Not often do we see him out-pathing an enemy jungle, but I think he's been counter-ganking really, really nice and been in the right spots where he needed to be there. So credit to Unflake, whose reputation, this is a player that we really hyped up. Player who we actually misidentified Jug King as Onflake after Onflake was styling.
I was actually
during the
talk
promotion
about
tournament
Canyon,
last
to be
year.
honest, because it feels like he's taken a lot of what Canyon had at the beginning of the season, where we were exclaiming about his incredible intelligent play, similar to that of Score from the past and Tarzan of this season.
He's got those bucket picks as well. The Jax is one that SKT know only too well, so I think has been in the best bet. I think he missed the catch. He did.
Neutral bug.
Have you noticed? I think visual bugs are gone.
There hasn't been too many. Even Shelly Rivers has been getting her headbutts in the right
I know,
spots.
and she was really
I know, she was a really fun one. It was charging up for point-blank
we were watching some Australian football during the break, so
we were.
Words like uncle.
Please don't spoil Collingwood versus Geelong for us. We need to finish that one off.
As always,
get out of this.
We are fans of teams that aren't Collingwood.
Because we're not Collingwood supporters.
Exactly.
That's, as everyone, every self-respecting Australian
if you're a
should
North
be.
American fan, it's a New England Patriots situation.
Yeah.
Same thing. Collingwood's the same.
Well, some are going to get slowed for a moment. A bit of damage there from Khan as he dash cannons towards it, but otherwise nothing too much going to happen.
But again, there's nothing much behind the dash cannon.
No.
It's not even full CDR build yet. Unsure on the Transcendence, but heavily expected with the phase rush opted into. But no Fiendish Codex, no real damage. We know the weather forecast is very murky for Sandbox at 40, at 35, but at 20, with the lead they have and a Lucian that is god tier, it should basically be point in the map where you want it, do the Babe Ruth to say this is what you want, and if you show up first, you're going to get it.
Yep. And also, they've got a 40 CS lead on their Aurelia. She was part of that win condition summit. Is so much of how Sandbox plays these games just because he's so consistent. Baker's looking for it, but the claw is going to be respected. Sandbox don't give SKT any ways in. And I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to bring up our previous series because it was a bit of a fiesta, but this is the moment where things went wrong for a Freaker. They were in Sandbox's shoes, but this is an example of a team that is much better at putting themselves in this spot and then just closing out.
But there's one counterpoint. Tell me which week of the LCK it was where Sandbox had their own lust of the Baron that kind of threw them off.
Weeks 1, 2, and 3.
And mostly just week 1. They actually fixed their Baron by the end of week 2, so Sandbox had those issues. They had them the honest time, week 1, when everyone's a bit crap. Now, we're at week 9. We're almost the full-on business end of the season. This is when you have to be doing your winning, and you don't think of Sandbox in that sort of way. Even though SKT is scaling, we're watching to see how Sandbox looks to extend their lead. The Baron, that's a bit tricky. The Ocean Drake, not what they're wanting, but the next clearer objective for the side of Sandbox.
3 Ocean Drakes to start off this series. We're certainly starting slow. The Sandbox curse not actually coming in, unfortunately. The Sandbox, because they normally pick themselves up so many of those Mountain Drakes. Flaming Quill's going to land onto Joker, but Sandbox not too worried about this one as they're controlling so much of this map. 3 turrets to 1. It's been the scoreline for a very long time, and we're approaching 5,000 gold. SKT still. They're in their investment phase.
Onflake's build here is so one note. He is saying, I'm going to walk up and check every brush, and I don't give a mundo how many people are there. I'm not dying. And this early to have, what, you would say maybe 2,500 health if he's surrounded by enough people?
Yeah, massive effective health as well when he actually presses the Gargoyle Stoneplate button.
He is just working out and then some. Onflake's a very tall boy. He's big
yeah,
as well.
Very big. There's a lot of C's when you spell that one as well, as the third Ocean should go into the hands of Sandbox. No reason for it not to. Hopefully for Sandbox fans, that is going to roll into a new Drake. So we're done with the open drakes this time around. 3 will be enough. And the next one will be a cloud. Oh, feels real bad.
Well,
Triple open into clown. Ugh.
and when you have the Vlad outscale, you're like, at least the Drakes aren't working against us.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, SKT rolling pretty high when it comes to these dragons as Faker gets out with the claw, just trying to get an extra turret here in favor of SKT.
We haven't seen SKT in this scenario very often. They're often controlling their fate in the early to mid game. I think them being able to out-execute a scaling comp, I always think of them just picking kind of the Elite Jarvan stuff and beating a Sivir comp before that can ever really get its items together. Here, everyone said 2 items, I'm golden, apart from the Vladimir. And Sandbox have a nice little lead here. It's not a game-winning lead. Again, we like the Vladimir as the game goes on, especially against an epically short-range comp on the side of Sandbox. But waiting on Sandbox to find an objective that will actually change the game. In a turrets, they're looking tricky. The Baron buff, it hasn't been started. The Lucian build is very powerful, but so far they're not actually able to inflict any pain onto SKT in the last 5 minutes or so.
Yeah, it's a big lead here for OnFleek, 1,000 gold. But it's 2,000 for the top side of the map. You can see Summit on your screen right now, 50 CS in the lead. 550 gold bounty, you can see even in the mid lane, Dove keeping up in farm, and 2-0 and 2 now on this Galio. He's a legitimate damage threat. Onto SKT.
We gotta do something. If we're Sandbox, we need to start up an objective. We need to force SKT. Because if you just go CS for CS, Vladimir's got that scaling that we talk about a lot. Ult's being used here. Okay, they're definitely getting excited.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that is a pretty classic Joker ultimate. I like to see that one. Joker's still the same player, but Ring of Frost is going to lock up too. There's the grand entrance onto Dove, but look at how tanky he is. Just soaks that damage. Teleport to come in now as Summit. Wants to join this fight, but SKT has successfully disengaged. And Khan didn't even have to press his D button. He's totally fine.
Well, we definitely saw the time where Joker opened up his mobile phone and saw the weather report and said, wow, it's actually going to get bad soon. We've got to get home fast.
Yeah.
Because they go for, like you mentioned, a bit of a brazen all-in. Braum not known for his engaging power. And thus, they do clear out vision, but no more. SKT aren't respecting a Baron speed take. So because of that, they go back to pushing Crisis Averted.
Yep. And speaking of Crisis Averted, Teddy is so close to Infinity Edge. That's going to be when SKT really can start up these fights. You've got Nomicon done for Khan. Sitting on a heck of a lot of CDR. He's level 14 already. I mean, I feel like the early game has been and gone. And this Vladimir is starting to get to Vladimir's status faster than Sandbox fans would want. As they're trying to bait for this Baron. Look at all of the vision that they have. There's no blue trinkets available for SKT.
Galio.
Yeah, OnFleek's looking for it. Doesn't find the knockup. Good Sanguine Pull is in a great time there as now the re-engage from Faker is being considered but not actually opted in for. Carter soaks himself a Winds of War, but Sandbox have been unable to actually find anything. Summit going back home, no teleport available, and now it's even more respite for SKT.
And now we're getting to the point where Sandbox feel a bit desperate. How do you pick Vladimir, Lee Sin, Lasan, Josiah, Rakan? These guys, if they have any inkling that the enemies could be around, can get it out of the way of threats very quickly. Sandbox continue to be frustrated. Now OnFleek's on a ward.
It's also so comfortable because the side lanes were mopped up. For SKT, you can see Summit. He's going to go down, he's going to fix things up, and the 3-item spike is now there for Teddy. I warned you about it a second ago. And then immediately, Teddy picks that one up, and now Sandbox aren't as out of the woods as they thought they were. Yes, their lead is still there. It's still to the tune of about 5,000 gold, but it's starting to mean less and less.
The defensive macro from SKT and Sandbox unable to find a match winner. They didn't get the high roll Drake, so it makes life easy, but they're looking for the big on Baker.
Yeah, Baker's actually going to turn this one around. He self-ults. They've got the grand entrance to come in, the heroic entrance there as well, and that one's going to spell defeat to Marta. Baker is actually able to get out of there as Teddy doing a lot of damage, but in the backline, Summit, he's found Clits. Teddy has to go up into the Featherstorm, and that's some low health bars on Sandbox, but still 4 of them are alive. Is it now going to be 3? Is cleared, picks up one, Teddy follows through for the second, and now Khan versus Summit is once again going to be the matchup, but that's the wrong place to go, Ghost. And SKT have won the team fight.
SKT have the patience to choose their targets and call them clearly. Insane after the start that they actually trade up. Not only Summit is alive, and Clit is aware that he's still around.
Yep, he's waiting for someone to face check with one of these low health bars, but Teddy's already back to full health. They've got a cannon here in this mid lane. It We'll try and even out these turrets, but it doesn't even matter that there's still a gold lead for Sandbox because SKT, they've shown them they can't team fight them anymore.
And we get that full zoom onto Teddy. The good defensive macro bought him an IE, and yeah, when this started, and honestly it takes so long to die, you think actually, maybe they've chosen the wrong time to fight. So as the play starts, Teddy has to contend with Onflick in his face. He does no damage, but as we know, he dies very slowly. Summit starts diving in, you're like, okay, this is just going to be Sandbox finding their moment. But look at the split-second timing on the ultimate there. Goes straight through the flash taunt from Dove. And then they try to turn off Teddy, and that's already where you know you made a mistake. You done goofed. Because
That's
Teddy
a big whoopsie.
has got his red buff, he has got his IE. Vladimir cleans it up, and SKT just too damn good.
And Clint was everywhere in that fight. I was wondering who I was supposed to be following it around, and I actually feel like Clint was the main target in that one. He kicked away Summit so he couldn't start the engagement. The hero's entrance wasn't followed up on by the Aurelia, and we spoke about the Sandbox comp. It's a lot of CC, but Aurelia and Lucian need to be doing damage. There was a lot of time where he was trying to chase around Clid, and the Aurelia's time was just wasted. In that futile effort, really nicely done from the jungler of SKT. There's a reason why he's played, this is his 17th game on the Lee Sin.
Here's what I'll say, it's now or never for Sandbox, and the reason why I say that is we're getting closer and closer to 10,000 gold plus on some of the carries, but also another important point, Atlas.
Yeah?
When the summoners were up, and remember, we just saw a summoner atrocity, almost every button was pressed in the last fight, then the natural mobility in the flash means that these picks just aren't going to happen. And over an extended fight, Infinity Edge build plus 10% bonus amp damage means that SKT should win way more fights than they lose. So you gotta get a pick on someone when their screen is half off-centered, when they have no flash down, because once the flashes come back up, I don't think Sandbox can find a way to actually punish SKT.
You need to get a pick on Mata or Clid. And Clid, before he gets to press his
stopwatch
button or gets himself his Guardian Angel. But Faker's got his Frozen Tomb, Teddy's got his Featherstorm, and there's a Sangrecool on Khan. You just straight up can't get picks on these champions without them wasting so much of your time and the rest of SKT following up.
Well, not with that attitude, Atlas. So they'll take whoever they can get. Faker is lying in wait. They don't know about his position. Conflict can, of course, have a mobile ward with his flag going down. He's not too scared about Lissandra coming in. He is still hilariously tanky.
Oh, yes. And look, Sandbox is still ahead as far as the gold is concerned. They still have a lot of chances here in this game, but the window is closing, and it's closing more rapidly than you might otherwise expect. Faker comes in with another circle of frost, but Joker straight up misses the ultimate. That's a big whoopsie. Dash Cannon gets Faker to safety, and it's a trade of a lot of buttons, but not actually too much more. Faker's ultimate now on cooldown alongside his Freljordian brethren in the Braum.
A bit big bad Wolfie though from Sandbox. A lot of huffing and puffing, but this house is not being blown down this time. It's staying pretty robust. Another ult is down, and maybe you fancy a moment to go in. Now that some of those big tools are down, the Braum disengaged, no longer a thing.
Yep, now Ghost has to be very careful as well. He can't be standing in this mid lane just clearing our minions.
Well, sometimes you can just run at a Baron and hope for something to happen.
What week is it again? What week is it again?
Well, I think this is the right call, because otherwise SKT are going to get their items Atlas, so they run at the Baron, and so far SKT are taking their time.
Yeah, actually the next one's going to come in there as Clid. Waits
He's
for it. Is in there, steals the Baron. It's all too easy for SKT's jungler. The grand entrance there as well. Summit is going to go down low. He's into the Guardian Angel now. As Sandbox, the health bars are low. Teddy is at full health and gets a gigantic Blade Koi as call it. See you later, Sandbox. You ain't getting any more. And the Lee Sin, he's done his job and then some.
They steal the Baron, and Teddy can just pop the ultimate for damage to try to take down some members. Like you say, the damage abates. Any further engage? Thanks very much to the Baron leash, says SKT.
Yeah, I thought it might have been the re-engage, but SKT say, no, we're going to take our purple buff, and we're going to run with it.
I'm going to say right call by Sandbox. That sounds bad, right? They lost to Baron. They'll probably lose the game now. But if not, Vladimir shows up with too many items. The flashes are back up, and you lose anyway. So they run at the Baron. Clid gets the button press and gets the smite. And now Sandbox are completely at the whim of SKT. Unfortunately, Sandbox couldn't win the game when it was theirs to be won. They didn't get the Drakes that make their life easy. And you see the little fist bumps there from SKT. You see the bigger happiness from their fans around LoL Park. SKT might have done enough to hold things down in game number 1.
And I really love Koma's reaction to that one, because you can see there's so much emotion riding on this particular matchup. This sets the tone for how the gauntlet run is going to look. Is SKT going to be that second place team that everyone pitted them at after that beautiful series against Griffin that they ultimately lost? but in the hearts of the fans, they won.
And then scarily, you're down to 4th as Sandbox, and if you don't get things together quickly, you kind of go out with a whimper, and you might just lose a best of 3 and be out after being entrenched in top 3 all season. Atlas, they've been up the top. So with the consistency of Kingzone going on an 8-game winning streak, we know this one is for 2nd place for the winner, but like you mentioned, any scoreline, 4th place for the loser. Sandbox around the mid lane, and now we're just kind of waiting on SKT to get in there.
Yeah, we're waiting for Marta to actually clear out this pesky little ward as well, as Clid's going to walk over one also. Heck loads of value for that particular piece of vision.
It's never a great feeling to YOLO Baron against a top team, but when you haven't been able to find your lead, when you have the invitation, it's better than just watching the enemy team win.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I feel like going out to the mid of your own drum is something that you actually deserve credit for, because Sandbox are never going to win in late game team fights, especially not now that Teddy almost has 6 items complete. He just does way more DPS than Ghost is capable of, whilst being safer and whilst also doing it in an AoE. So it's just no way that Sandbox are going to be able to win this one straight up. They need to go for the funny business. They need to go for the creative plays to steal this game away, much like how Griffin did in back-to-back games against SKT.
And it's just get a pick on someone randomly. Like just surprise someone. This is where you're in that brush that you should never be in as the enemy jungler, and you just randomly kill the AD carry, but flashes are up, Atlas. We kind of talk about that as the timing here. What it looks like for them to pick someone is starting with a AoE taunt and then just DPSing someone down. During that particular duration, there aren't too many options here. Drake goes to SKT, and while they're not winning the game just yet, it just feels like we'll be about a Baron or an Elder that SKT will have positioning on, and Sandbox will have to face check.
And just think about how different this game looks if all of those Ocean Drakes were Infernal Drakes. Actually, I feel like a lot of the early skirmishes, a lot of the fights would have had to have been earlier for SKT. Sandbox would have been able to demand a lot more action at the start of this game.
But here's what I'll say. It's 2nd place versus 3rd place coming in. What it feels like when that happens, let's say it was 3 Infernals and Sandbox just have the advantage, it feels like it was grading on a curve, where the teacher's just like, actually everyone played bad, everyone did bad on the test, so suddenly a 70 is an A+. Like, this makes life easy for a team that's supposed to be competing for first Atlas. So I actually prefer there being a bit of hard mode. It is kind of hard done by Sandbox, but they controlled this game, gold lead and tempo-wise, and SKT had good defensive macro and Sandbox had no answers. So I think they learn more from losing this game if they can come back and actually get things going at the end of the season, rather than winning because of just pure chance.
Well, right now, SKT have Sandbox exactly where they want them. Faker with a flanking position. He's on vision. I don't know what Sandbox can actually do about this one. Another ultimate's going to go hilariously wide.
Stop it, Joker!
It's not good. His R button. He's a little bit too frisky on it. Summon throws down the Vanguard's edge. That's immediately Marta. Taken down, but look at the Blade Caller. Into the backline goes Teddy, and Aurelia has fallen. Heroic entrance comes down, and look at the AoE like we were talking about. Khan is on a free-for-all. It's Clint who grabs the kill on the Galio. Now Sandbox have to get the hell out.
SKT aren't able to wipe Sandbox, but it's still going to be a trade-up, even if the setup wasn't perfect for them. They'll back away, and like we mentioned, probably going to take another Baron here for SKT. Ain't no one got any range on either team, really, if you think about it.
Khan. It's a little bit of a look, kind of like the Exhaust Ignite underneath the top lane outer turret.
I need something to happen, Atlas. Can you do this for me?
Yeah.
Can the Braum just hit one person with his ult?
He hit 3 people in the very early game. I think he used up all of his good karma.
A future ult. Could it please hit somebody?
I think so.
Because right now, he's pressing R, his AD carries getting 30% more damage, but nothing else is happening.
Best of 3, best.
By the way, Zaya's doing a lot of damage.
Yes, Zaya almost kills the full tank Jarvan. And look at this, Clint getting all the way amongst it. Not actually going down to his G, I don't think, throughout this entire fight. So holds on to that big cooldown.
Faker able to hit the map, double teleport available for both sides. Faker got the proc in there that Aftershock allows to demolish. Teddy comes in, and yeah, Teddy's decked out.
He is. He's got 6 items, but there's also double void stuff that's just come in for both of the AP carries. And remember, SKT side.
Remember that the Lucian was just the most hilariously ahead at 16 minutes?
Yep.
That was 21 minutes ago, and a blackjack amount of minutes means that suddenly Lucian's behind on the Zaya.
Exactly. I think they're a little bit fussed at this point, Papa. I think you made the right analogy there with the card game. Unfortunately, he can just go over, and Faker's going to teleport in. It's a double. Both of those AP carries we were talking about are going to get delivered into the backline. Faker doesn't take the claw, though, as on fleek. He's fighting Teddy. That's a battle the AP carry can win at this point. And Summit, I'm sorry, mate. Your time is up. You're going to go down. It's the Vladimir that deals with him. We'll finally have that. Clit actually picks it up in the end. And Teddy just looking to bully away the rest of Sandbox. The Baron will be free, and the base will be broken.
You're at the point where Khan is a one-man wrecking crew. He goes in, and other people leave. There ain't nobody standing up to a Vladimir. Level 18, fully decked out. They'll take the Baron. They needed a second one to actually have enough siege threat to take down the game. Who's to say we might not extend even further, Atlas? Unfortunately, with how the comms are, it's not the easiest. They don't feel like strong enough to dive onto a Gallia. And maybe Sandbox can say, well, Elder spawns in a minute. Who knows what might happen?
Yeah, well, I mean, they do have 4 Drakes, so you're right. The Elder is going to be a big deal. But let's have a look at this fight one more time.
It
Teddy.
was a double TP onto that lane one. I saw Lissandra and then Vladimir joins. And we always call Vladimir as casters. Malphite Orianna as a duo. And of course, Malphite Orianna, one of those low elo terrors where it's AoE CC and damage. Even though it's not hard CC from the Vladimir, it's hard damage, which is the strongest and purest form of CC. Crowd is almost at risk of throwing away their signs. They're so excited.
And SKT are also excited. Yeah, the bottom lane of Sandbox. Where are you going to go? Joker, can you land an ultimate? I promised Papa Smithy that you were going to do it. You can't even throw it down. The button not even pressed. And SKT, they're too far ahead. That's a double kill for Teddy. Summit going to go down as well. Can you get another one? No, it's going to be Clid that grabs his piece of the pie. And now it's only on Fleek trying to run away as full tank Jarvan. And you're not going to be able to affect the outcome of this game. SKT, they just bided their time, and they will win game number 1. Sandbox, they need a lot of credit given to them for their early game, but unfortunately it wasn't enough to get through the juggernaut that is SKT in a scaling situation.
And definitely, Atlas, I'm with you on that. I feel like both teams have passages of play where they have a lot to feel good about. Sandbox playing that good early game against one of our better early game teams in SKT should not be forgotten.